Welcome to the Enchanted Archives, where folklore meets forgotten history and the past refuses to stay buried. This is a space where ancient legends, eerie truths, and unexplained mysteries are brought back into the light, one tale at a time. They say the pyramids were built to honor the dead, towering monuments to legacy, eternity, and power. But what if they were also built to keep something locked away? I'm Ahmad Mansour, and this is the Enchanted Archives. In 2017, a team of scientists armed with neon tomography technology discovered something peculiar inside the Great Pyramid of Khufu. A mysterious void, 30 meters long, sealed in solid stone, with no visible entrance. Then, in 2023, radar scans revealed vast underground passageways stretching beneath all three pyramids on the Giza Plateau. Some of the chambers were cube-shaped, some were spiral, some plunged over 648 meters into the earth. That's more than twice the height of the Eiffel Tower. For decades, we've believed the pyramids were grand tombs, but as we peel back the layers, we're beginning to see a different picture, one that involves hidden networks, sealed doors, and perhaps something ancient that was never meant to be unearthed. If there is one thing history has shown us, it's that disturbing the dead rarely ends well. On November 4, 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter stood at the threshold of history. After years of relentless searching in the Valley of the Kings, he uncovered the nearly intact tomb of a pharaoh forgotten by time, Tutankhamun, the boy king who died in 1323 BCE. The tomb was filled with gold, jewels, ritual objects, and a mummified body that had been sealed away for over 3,000 years. But Carter may have found more than a mummy. According to accounts, etched above the entrance to the tomb was a chilling warning: death shall come on swift wings to those who disturb the king's peace. 5 months later, the Lord Carnarvon, the man who financed the excavation, was dead. A mosquito bite had become infected, and he died on April 5, 1923. But here's where it gets strange. At the monument of his death, the lights across Cairo mysteriously went out, and back in England, his dog let out a piercing howl before collapsing. By 1930, more than a dozen people connected to the tomb had died under some bizarre or unexplained circumstances. Arthur Mace, Carter's assistant, died in 1928 from arsenic poisoning. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed, the radiologist who x-rayed the mummy, died in 1924. Richard Bethel, Carter's secretary, found smothered in his bed in 1929. Bethel's father jumped from a window shortly after. Coincidence? Maybe. But when Carter finally examined the boy king's body, they discovered a wound on his left cheek, the exact same spot where Carnarvon had been bitten. The Pharaoh's curse has never truly gone away, and it didn't start with King Tut. Inscription warnings of divine retribution have been found in tombs far older. Some of them threaten blindness, others disease. Some promise death by crocodile, snake, or fire. One tomb discovered in Saqqara, dating back to the 6th dynasty, over 4,300 years ago, featured a vividly inscribed curse meant to terrify intruders. It read, "Who he enters my tomb shall be swallowed by the crocodile, the hippopotamus, and the serpent." These animals weren't just dangers of the Nile. They were divine agents of punishment. It was believed that the gods would command them to avenge the desecration of a sacred place. The pharaohs weren't just kings, they were gods on earth, and their tomb weren't just burial sites, they were fortresses of divine power. So naturally, their resting places were guarded. sometimes with real-world traps, other times with spiritual defenses, in some cases a combination of both. Ancient Egyptians were masterful at using both the psychological and the physical to protect the dead. Tombs were often sealed with traps, pressure stones, false floors, and even rudimentary chemical compounds. When exposed to air after thousands of years, some of these chemicals can cause respiratory illnesses, disorientation, or maybe even worse. In 1970, microbiologist Dr. Izzat Ibrahim conducted a study on spores and molds found inside unopened tombs. He concluded that exposure to certain ancient bacteria could be fatal, especially to individuals with weakened immune systems. So maybe the curse was never magic, maybe it was science. Ancient, dusty, and deadly science. But even science can't explain what happened in Saqqara in 2020. That year, a team of Egyptian archaeologists unearthed a cache of over 50 sealed sarcophagi. Within days, several members of the team reported hallucinations. One awoke in the night feeling invisible hands around his throat. Another saw figures in the corners of his tent that vanished when lights were turned on. A third was hospitalized with acute respiratory failure. In 1999, 3 French researchers entered a sealed chamber in the Bahariya oasis. 2 died, 1 suffered a heart attack. When asked, a surviving colleague whispered, "We should have left it sealed." In 2027, an American tourist participating in a guided tomb tour suddenly collapsed while inside a small narrow corridor. He was pronounced dead before reaching the hospital. His wife later claimed he had been hearing whispers all morning, whispers he first believed were echoes from tour guides. But there had been no other group inside that day. In 1988, a small team of American documentarians was granted access to a lesser-known tomb in Deir al-Medina. Shortly after filming a segment inside the tomb, 2 of the crew members developed sudden skin rashes that spread rapidly. The footage was never released. According to a leaked email, one of the team members began to hear chanting in the audio recordings, even though no one present recalled any sound during the shoot. The tomb was resealed, and its location quietly omitted from future excavation plans. And let's not forget the 2004 incident at Dashur, where an Italian tourist, reportedly on an unassociated solo tour of Bent Pyramid, died after falling into a shaft that wasn't part of the official map. His body was recovered days later, but the official report was never made public. Eyewitnesses claimed he had scrawled something on the inside of his camera lens. A single phrase. "It's still breathing." Some theorists, especially the ones in the fringe science community, have suggested that the Great Pyramid of Giza wasn't a tomb, but a kind of ancient energy reactor. The theory posits that the pyramid's internal layout, the use of granite and limestone, and its alignment with geographic magnetic lines could have allowed it to function as a conductor or capacitor of natural energy. Sounds like science fiction. Maybe. But the Great Pyramid contains no confirmed pharaoh's remains, no funerary texts, no royal inscriptions. And now, with the discovery of underground chambers, the theory has gained a second wind. Whether you believe in curses, science, or something in between, one thing remains true. The dead have always demanded respect, and every time we dig into their world, we risk bringing something back. But maybe the most unsettling truth of all is this: the pharaohs weren't just preparing for death, they were preparing for eternity, with traps, riddles, guardians, and incantations that echoed into the afterlife. And if modern science has begun to unlock the doors, the question isn't just what lies inside, but why did they try so hard to keep us out? There are still unopened tombs buried deep beneath Egypt's shifting sands. Some are marked with warnings, others remain untouched by any modern equipment, lost to time and silence. But if history repeats itself, and it always does, Someone will open them, eventually, and when they do, the ancient silence may speak once more. If you enjoyed this episode of the Enchanted Archives, follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, X, and Facebook. And don't forget, the full episode is also available on YouTube with Arabic subtitles. Share it with someone who loves ancient mystery, or someone who thinks curses are just bedtime stories. When you find us, leave a comment or a sign you were here. I like it when people leave breadcrumbs. This episode of the Enchanted Archives was written, produced, and narrated by me, Ahmad Mansour, with research by Samar al-Morali. If you'd prefer to explore the archives without interruptions, you can subscribe to the Enchanted Archives on Apple Podcasts for an ad-free experience. It keeps the stories flowing and the silence intact. For now, see you next time and stay spooky.